Now, I'm assuming that since you continue to push these same lazy, unthoughtful, inorganic, and original, and just downright ignorant positions surrounding the WNBA, that you know what's going on, right? I'm assuming that you know that they're currently negotiating a new collective bargaining agreement because their current one ends at the end of this year. And what they're asking for is just a larger piece of the pie. They want to share at a greater rate in the revenue that they're helping bring in, which they are bringing in because they are the products. Now, with that being said, I'm sure you would then, tell me that how are they going to share in larger revenue streams when not more revenue is brought in because they're losing money year in and year out, right? I'm sure that's what your follow-up would be. And to that, I would say, well, then I'm assuming that you also have done further research to understand what's going to actually happen in 2026 and how their business is going to change. You would have to do that, right, if you're making these grand assumptions, right, in which a new TV deal is getting signed into effect for them in 2026, of which they currently make about $40 million a year on their current TV deal, and that will go up to over $200 million a year in their new TV deal. Now, essentially what that means is overnight they will go from not being profitable to being extremely profitable, in a sense that they will be making over $100 million in excess a year. Now, you tell me, if you believe by your logic that these women don't deserve to get paid more because they're not bringing in more, what does that mean when they do start indeed making a profit? Because it's right around the corner. It's less than 6 months away now. Now, I'm assuming that you're going to find some kind of an excuse, but there really isn't one. You're just ignorant. But to even double down on that and go a little bit further, you mean to tell me Caitlin Clark, a woman who has brought in millions of eyeballs to the WNBA and women's basketball more generally, who has literally been at the forefront of ushering in just a new wave of fans and people who are going to watch the WNBA for years to come and thus drive the revenue up, deserves to be making what she's making now on her base WNBA rookie contract, which is about $70,000 a year. Does that sound fair to you? And more to the point, is it up to her? Is it her decisions that are ultimately being made that dictate whether the business is profitable or not? Because I assure you, with the amount of revenue that she's bringing in, there are ways to structure the WNBA right now where they could still be profitable. But because they have foresight and they have thought and investment, they are currently pushing great amounts of money into their marketing, into other avenues that are thus going to drive their value up moving forward for the next 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years and make them a business for years and years to come into the future, similar to how the NBA and other big professional leagues are. So is it up to these players to ultimately make themselves profitable? Obviously, they play a role. They are the product. But are they the sole reason for what revenue is and why they could be profitable versus not? The answer is no. So when you have these lazy assumptions and you don't really do the research, it comes out as, oh, these women are asking for something they're not worth or what have you. But I promise you, these women and the people behind them vouching for them have an understanding of the business and what the business is going to be. You don't. You're ignorant and you're not willing to do the research to find out why they're asking for what they're asking for. So until you are, just don't have an opinion. Or if you are going to have an opinion, make sure it's an informed one. Peace.